Hello and welcome to Campaign Comrades, your favorite leftist gaming podcast. How are we doing, folks? Are we feeling festive? We are post Summer Game Fest. How are we feeling? Did it get us feeling
Festivus for
jolly?
the rest of us.
Yeah, get it feel us jolly. Do we need to air grievances with
I
the
mean, I'm
gaming
enough summer
industry?
game fests in now where I'm just the jaded dude smoking a cigarette on the porch, watching from afar.
I want to like go over, kind of chronologically the major showcases. We're not going to go in depth on them all. We're not going to say everything that was shown or announced or everything like that. Just kind of go through them and see what piqued our individual interest in them. Um, but overall, what would you say the grade of announcements was this year? I honestly felt like it really ranged and varied. There was like some really
Yeah,
kind of
there was too much variance. I mean, probably averages out to like a B minus because like the highs can raise some of the lows up, maybe like a C plus.
I, I don't know. Like for me, I'm always kind of I don't really care about these things if I'm being frank. Like I'm never that impressed. There's usually a title or two that gets me excited, but largely I'm just kind of like apathetic to this whole aspect of the industry as a whole, and it's just like
You will be sold new
demands time that
products.
I don't think it deserves.
I feel like I would be more invested in it if like there was more kind of direct consumer interaction with it. Like the all the gaming journalists get excited about these type of things because it's their opportunities to go, get
Have
hands-on
fun.
time with it, right? And yeah, to like kind of it's E3 is dead, long live E3 type of shit, and like this is the best they're gonna get. It's kind of the time for industry people to gather together and kind of do their thing. So like I get it. It's like a holiday season. We were joking there, but it kind of is for them. But like they have a more kind of
Yeah.
tangible
You say it's a holiday for them,
relationship
but it's
to it.
also like the worst time of their lives because
Oh
they're also
yeah,
crunched to get like a billion articles out while in a
yeah,
shitty
yeah,
hotel.
yeah.
Wi-Fi that's not working because
Yeah,
people are
they're all
streaming
huddled down in the
porn
hotel
and
conference center, like using shitty
But
Ethernet
isn't
ports that don't
isn't
all
every
work.
isn't every like family holiday like that? You've got your it's fun, enjoyable. You get to spend time with loved ones, friends, and family, and then just you also have to spend time with loved ones, friends, and family. And it just
mm.
Yeah,
gets pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
There's
And
So
also a high level of stress
yeah.
and anxiety.
yeah,
What's the running joke? It's like I used to question the uncle who showed up on holidays, like made a plate, ate, and left, but now I respect the hell out of him.
yeah, now I am him. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for like with the death of E3 and particularly the version of E3, and it's a complicated thing, right? That, when E3 went more consumer facing, I think that was like a big reason why it kind of went in the toilet, is that it became too big for its own good, too crazy, too many people, expectations too high, right? But like without the without the kind of tangible nature of these showcases, for most consumers nowadays, yeah, they're largely ignorable. You can wait to get the roundups. You don't need to be watching them. Yet things like Summer Game Fest, like proper, the Jeff Keighley show, continues to like get higher viewers every time. It's
Are we
it's
sure
it's
they're actual
building.
viewers?
I mean, with
Because
how
this is
with how
like
active and toxic the chat is, I don't think bots have gotten that have gotten that
They're not that good.
I
yeah.
mean on a
Now
side
that it's
tangent,
difficult to just post like L over and over again, or
yeah.
you know
Where Silk Song, where
yeah,
Silk Song,
yeah,
where Silk Song.
yeah, but like
No, see, this is why it's the Turing test, and the bots just won't use enough slurs, so it's
I
impossible.
yeah,
mean,
with the
I think
number
it
of
was
people
back in the
getting
early
getting banned from the
2010s.
YouTube chat, like that there's a lot of real people there.
think it was back in the early 2010s where Microsoft unleashed a bot onto Twitter to learn, and it became a Nazi in like 3 hours or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So like,
Record time, yeah.
I'm
So
just
yeah, I don't
saying
know.
the bots can definitely be toxic.
So I
No,
still
but
watch.
now it's because of woke. They can't do that.
So I still watched most of these live. I've except for a couple of them, but I also didn't watch as many as I have in the past. Like the ones I did watch were like the major ones, right? And
The
some
only
like
one I watched was Nintendo, and I just threw that on YouTube when I was at work and just listened to it, and then would look over when something cool sounding happened.
that was the one where like I honestly forgot about what time it was going. So like I remembered when it was like 3/4 of the way done. So I was just like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just watch the VOD later. Yeah, Matt's just texting me from work, just like all like the cool things that are happening, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot. Which is a testament again to how kind of mind numbing this whole
Well, also
season
Nintendo
can
always
be.
runs to the beat of their own drum. They're like, "Yo, 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
What a time to have an event."
Yeah, particularly
Don't
since
care.
most of them happen West Coast. Yeah, so like people on the West Coast, literally 7 a.m. for you sickos. But this whole summer showcase season was kicked off with what I would say probably, actually no, not even probably, definitely the weakest of the bunch, with Sony's State of Play that happened on May 30th. So
Doesn't matter. Astrobot.
yeah, so it technically falls outside of our, this is, our June roundup of news. However, this occurred because of the way the calendar fell. This happened after our news episode of May, so we were okay to still cover this. This was like basically last
Astrobots
day
is
of May.
L plus ratio plus Seath plus Cope.
I mean, that's basically the only thing that was actually, and it's actual like a first party Sony thing that got anybody interested. And
Everybody's interested
yeah,
in
yeah.
Astrobot.
From hands-on impressions though, also, it's tracking very positive.
Yeah, telling you, Astrobot Summer.
I need to, and I'm going to, because it's only like a couple
I didn't play the
hours.
first one.
Yeah, I need to play Astrobot's Playroom.
It's free.
Do
It's
it.
literally on your.
No, it's there. It's downloaded.
Yeah.
I never uninstalled it. It's still there.
Matt, do you know what's next to it though? A game called Elden Ring. And
The
I don't
fact that that's what's
think
next to it is
Astrobot has
fascinating to
shit.
me because that would tell me that you were playing it
No, it's
recently
not.
or you only play Elden Ring.
Not directly next to it.
I had to go searching in my library to find it, because I honestly thought that I deleted it to free up space, but I think it's somewhere
I think it takes
on
up
my
like
M.2.
10
2
gigabytes or
gigabytes.
something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
Absurd.
But yeah, there was like, dude, like the only thing that was like noteworthy and newsworthy from this showcase was just how bad everything else looked. Like the people clowning on Firewalk Studios Concord game, the Guardians of the Galaxy meets Overwatch.
Guardians of Overwatch.
Yeah, dude, it looks so bad. Oh my god. So many 5v5 multiplayer shooter shit. Like, because then you got the Marvel one, the what do they call that? It was in the same showcase.
Is
Marvel
that Marvel
Rivals.
Snap? Oh,
Marvel
Rivals.
Marvel Rivals.
It's just like AI is coming up with these names for shit, and it's just like pulling from the back catalog.
That one also
Rivals.
bothers me, is I feel like it should be I mean, it's, in my opinion, it's a bit of a weird tongue twister either way as I stumble over it. Marvel
Yeah.
Rivals sounds weird, but so does Marvel's Rivals. Both of those
Earl
both of those
Yeah.
sound weird, but like where everything else, that is usually in like, the possessive plural, it's usually Marvels something. Marvel's
Yeah.
Avengers, it's usually Marvel's
Marvel
Guardians
Rebels.
of the Galaxy. It's just the singular Marvel sounds odd, but it also sounds odd to say Marvel's Rivals. It's weird.
I think it's pronounced Marvel, if I remember from Captain Marvel.
Marvel Revel.
Marvel getting some ice cream.
I guess the other interesting thing was saw some new footage of Monster Hunter Wilds, where everybody's going goo goo gaga over the goo goo gaga baby want milky from there's like the hot mechanic NPC.
Is that the one that's the mobile game?
No.
No.
This will be like an open world monster. It's gonna be like the next main Monster Hunter.
They were making a mobile.
They do. It's
Yeah.
it's essentially
It's out.
Yeah, it's out.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
basically Monster Hunter
Pokemon
version
Go.
of Pokemon Go. Yeah.
Yep.
You know how everyone
is
was
it
like, we
done
can
by
just make a
Niantic
Pokemon Go
too?
clone?
Yeah, isn't it
Yeah.
done by the same people?
Yeah. The same people who also did the Wizard one, the same people
And
who
the
also
Harry
did
Potter.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Niantic.
I don't
Wizard
remember.
one?
I don't remember there being a Harry Potter one, but
There was one that was like
is it
you
you're
could
trying
cast
to is it
spells.
are you trying to get magical creatures? Because the idea has
You're trying to round up
crossover.
all the goblins so you can take them out of power.
Yeah. I honestly don't know what the gameplay
killing
was. I just know there
mudbloods.
was something with a wand and you click on it and it casts spells.
Weird.
Almost
I
like
know
the
I had a
Pokeball.
coworker who was the type of crazy person who went to an event for that in another city, like
fucked.
in another state.
That's too much. It's one thing going for a Pokemon Go event, another thing for Harry Potter.
Well, I mean,
All right,
I didn't say it was
Those things
good
are
going to a
closer than you'd
Pokemon Go
want to,
event. I just said it was one thing if someone goes there, but a Harry Potter one, that's another.
Matt, have you seen any interest at all in the new Dynasty Warriors game? Has anybody talked about that at all? No.
I mean, not really.
No.
I mean, I don't. I also don't put myself in the spaces. I'm pretty sure I blocked r/Muso because
That's for the best.
yeah.
moved himself from the weeaboo community.
They're
A very specific subset of it.
Yeah. It's a subgenre. I mean, and there were a couple updates and some new things. Like, I'm still interested in the Where Winds Meet game. It's the Chinese mythology, not to be confused with Black Myth Wukong, but like it's like Chinese, kind of.
You mean the Sony exclusive Black Myth Wukong?
That was a game that I demoed for I did I participated in the beta for
Oh yeah.
an hour and a half, and honestly it has a lot of work it needs to make, but I was encouraged to see that it was originally like a PC exclusive and now is coming to PS5, which gives me a little bit of confidence in that whatever they'd have to produce in order to get certified for console market gets me a little bit more confident in that there is gonna have some more kind of weight to it. But my biggest issue with it was that there are so many systems and mechanics, and the level of tutorializing really needed work. It was at the same time both too heavy-handed and non-existent. Like for the ones that they did give tutorials for, it was really weird and slow. And then there's a million mechanics that they did not explain at all. So I'm just like, okay, what the fuck am I doing here? And just kind of stopped playing. But I'm interested by the premise. I think it has some promise to it. But yeah, then it was just updates on some other things. So a very disappointing
The biggest takeaway from the Sony event was that they are definitely stepping back and distancing from VR a little bit.
Oh yeah, news has popped up around that too. No, we didn't I don't know that anybody sent stuff, but I've seen some things recently.
No, we've not.
There was some internal messages that were shared somewhere that they have basically completely cut off any internal support for game development for VR.
I mean, the people were freaking out when Astrobot wasn't a VR title. They're like, "Huh? My little robot boy isn't VR exclusive anymore."
I wonder if there's going to be a shift from VR to AR. Just like in general in the market, not just specific to Sony, because like the Apple fucking Vision Pro or whatever the fuck it's called has been like quote unquote successful for them. And
No,
people seem to
no, it's not. It's
not
been
in some
No?
almost
recent
exact opposite.
not in
Oh,
some
okay.
the
No,
recent shit
it's
that I've
been
seen.
owned by the market.
Oh, amazing. I didn't realize that.
It's
I
been
only saw
They,
news
absolutely
they,
when it
they
first
shuttered
coming out.
development of a V2 version in moving towards a cheaper, trying to make a less expensive one.
Basic.
By
Even
cutting
better.
features, by cutting features.
But
Even
and
better.
it's
Let's
still
get rid of any
and it's
AR, AR,
still
VR.
$1,800.
Get rid
Yeah.
of it. I take everything back. And I wasn't hoping for an AR.
I still think
I
I
think
still
it's
think
fine.
in that department that Google was the closest with Google Glass, with the thing
it
that
was
is
just 10 years
mostly
too
out,
early.
out of your face. Because like I just think the whole idea of putting a giant goggle on your head is kind of hard to wrap yourself around. I'm not going to go
Never
sit out
gonna-
in public with a VR headset on and get stabbed.
Hold on, but just I don't want to get too off topic, but this is just too good to miss up. There's now a new subgenre of porn that's
Nope.
that's
Nope.
gooning, AR gooning while fucking. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
And they title it like gooning while fucking, or it's so great. Fantastic. I love the internet.
Okay.
Cut that in post.
There's no way for clean transition there.
Episode title.
One thing that was surprising
Gooning in AR.
in one way to not see at the Sony show, because it was, basically leaked well beforehand, but was one of the kickoff things for Summer Game Fest proper, was the Lego Horizon game.
Coming to everything but Xbox.
Nice.
Yeah,
Fuck.
PC, PS5, and Switch.
Yeah.
Which, like, I saw someone break it down, and like, honestly, coming to PC is a bit weird because I get only when you think of it comparatively. Like, going to this is not going to be a system seller, right? So keeping it exclusive is just going to limit
Yeah.
sales. This is a game that's directed at
Kid coded, so
kid,
Switch.
kids and families. So putting it on the Switch is a no fucking brainer. There are so many Switches out there. That this will
44 million
close
or
to
something
150
like that.
million. Yeah, people usually round up to like 150 million.
And that's probably the only one where there's like a huge quantity of multiple per household.
Right. And so it's got some co-op element too. So it totally makes sense why it's going to Switch. I honestly don't think
putting it on PC was just them being like, haha, fuck you, Xbox.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people I don't think a lot of people in the PC market are gonna be very interested in it.
Well, yeah,
It doesn't-
especially because you could just play Horizon on PC.
I know people were like talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, why would they choose the Horizon game to be like a
sell Lego
to be
sets?
like a Lego collaboration?" And people, the more cynical version, are like, "Yeah, but it's like it's in Lego's interest because they can sell sets based off of the the dinosaurs." But like, people forget how big of an IP Horizon is for Sony. It's one of Sony's
Yeah.
highest selling properties. Like,
Or just how big
Zero
Lego
Dawn
games
Zero
are.
Dawn
Zero
is
Dawn
like
was a
20
crazy IP
20
opening,
plus
despite-
million.
Yeah, despite
copies.
opening alongside Breath of the Wild. What a lovely.
Yeah, so it's like it gets kind of slept on and forgotten, and people are just like, "Oh, Uncharted, God of War," like, those are the big ones. But like,
Yeah, but
this
Aloy's
sold
woke.
this
It's
sold
kind
a
of,
lot of
it's
copies.
Because it's a newer IP.
It's kind of like the Avatar of gaming in a way, where it just doesn't hold much of that social just value. It just doesn't latch
Oh,
in.
we're using the social
I'm-
zeitgeist
So
argument.
I'm not falling for that argument again, because that's bullshit. Because I mean, one, I don't see the connection. Also, because it's not like Horizon was making people depressed and want to kill themselves for not being able to, go to that future. Whereas that absolutely happened for Avatar. Nah, that's
Yeah, there was
bullshit.
no fucking blue aliens.
I never bought it. I never bought
Horizon.
that argument. Oh, it had no cultural, cultural sway or whatever. I'm like,
Dude,
get the fuck
orcas
out of
were
here.
uprising because of Way of Water.
Yeah,
James Cameron was speaking
yeah.
directly to them.
Yeah. So I don't know what
We're
you're
gonna
talking
find
about,
out
but
like some Spanish marine biologist was playing it at like whale frequencies in the ocean.
but what is interesting about like where I think about it's like it's kind of funny in this regard that like the Horizon games are some of the most like self-serious properties out there.
Yeah.
To then go into a Lego format, which is nothing but jokes and sarcasm and all that, is a little bit tonally weird. Again, it's just the fact that again, the Horizon games literally have zero sense of humor. Um, it's a bit odd in
Yeah,
that regard.
But it's like a gateway
but
drug, putting it in Lego
Yeah,
to like get the
like putting
younger
it on Switch to
generation
get a
to
kid hooked
then
on
play the
Forbidden
real
West
one.
is so that when the sequel comes out for PS6,
Yep.
little
They're old enough to
little
play.
Aiden or Caden or Braden could point
Whatever
to his
broccoli-haired kid, is
Yeah.
playing it.
Yep.
for
No
me, like
mullets now.
my one of my takeaways from this
Hold on,
is just,
quickly. Speaking of
yeah,
that, but
sorry.
did you see? This is totally off topic. Did you see that there are some places like I think it was like in Texas that they're trying to ban the Edgar haircut? Like
Amazing.
some establishments,
Yes,
Can I-
yes.
they're trying to
That's
ban the
just
Edgar.
that's
Like
racial
whole towns, or is it
discrimination.
Oh,
just
exactly. No,
businesses?
100%. It's literally
that's
just a way to discriminate
That's why.
based on ethnicity
against Latino and Hispanic kids. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
and
Okay.
Arabs.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the real world though. I just
The real world of video
I did
games.
see a news clip about that story where they found another Latino guy who wanted to ban the Edgar, and that's who they interviewed.
Dude, no one is more racist to Latinos than other
Than
Latinos.
Latinos. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So my takeaway though is like Sony either just kind of blew their load like way too early in this life cycle, or they don't have anything cooking. Because like
I think what happened was they had to get rid of a lot of live service games, so they have a little bit of fluff that they're throwing out right now to pad out some in between time.
I think it's that they're too busy cooking is what's going on, right? Is that there are things that it's the nature of AAA game development, right? Is these cycles these cycles
what's the biggest
take almost 3/4 of a console generation at this point now. So they had things in the beginning and they had this live service push that is just kind of falling out from under them. So they don't have anything to offer right now because the things that we would normally expect from Sony are still being developed.
I mean, it's the least worst or the least kept secret, the PS5 Pro that they're going to be pushing out probably holiday this year or early next year, to try to get ahead of GTA 6 and try to be the strongest system for GTA 6. Like they're definitely going to have some first party titles they're going to want to also, try to sell alongside that and push, the new capabilities.
I really hope so. That's going to bomb too.
yeah, I mean, like it's just surprising to me. They have Astrobot, Silent Hill 2 remake, Concord, and then they have Death
So
Stranding 2 and
this year's clearly
Wolverine and
padded
stuff,
out
but
by third parties.
those
for
don't have
Sony.
dates.
Because this year's clearly padded out by
Which
Final
is
Fantasy,
fair.
Stellar Blade.
Yeah, no, there's still plenty of games to play. They're just all they're all third party.
Yeah,
That's the thing. There are plenty of even exclusives to play. It's just they're third party. I'm not. It's like I'm not like. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have basically one of each system that matters. And
I mean, you
like,
have access to Xbox if you need to with
I
Game
could.
Pass.
I could. You're right.
You have a PC, so you have access to Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are very
exactly.
few things that I couldn't. that,
And
like,
and the
a
beauty of having
truly
a PC
console
is you could
exclusive.
still play Black Myth Wukong while people on Xbox cannot.
True.
Matt, it's a little bit out of order, but you've been itching at trying to talk about that one. So let's just go to you. What's going on with
Well, I mean, because
with
we
Black
were
Myth
getting to
Wukong?
the Xbox showcase next, so I was trying to also take my barbs in there. But I just think it's funny that this is now 2 years in a row where a decently highly anticipated third party game,
it's the number one wish listed game on Steam right now.
yeah, uh, third party game is coming out that is going to be skipping Xbox on launch because of, from the developers' statements, optimization issues with the Series S. But from Microsoft statements, it was Sony's paying them to say that.
Dude, why anyone would believe anything any Xbox executive says in this day and age?
Yeah.
You know what my favorite part about that is? Go back to the first major showcase that Black Myth Wukong was showed off in the US. It was an Xbox showcase.
That is funny. But
That was the little piece of irony there I wanted.
they're doing Black Myth Wukong was shown at the Summer Game Fest thing, the collector's edition.
Yeah.
Gonna be $400 with a 40 centimeter figure.
Matt, when was the first showcase of that? Was it like 2019, 2018?
Yeah, it was 2019 or 2020, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Maybe a 2018 initial showing at a smaller showcase, but it was
Yeah.
a bigger reveal was sometime around 2019.
I remember it being pretty long ago.
Matt,
It
how
was
excited?
the definition of like I'll believe it when it comes out for me.
Yeah, well, I
because that
remember.
was
Yeah.
How
That was
excited
like
are
your
you?
running joke.
Matt? How excited are you for Metaphor ReFantazio?
I mean,
How juiced did this footage get you?
it looks really good. And I appreciate the things that they've said about like they've like condensed the timeline a little bit so it's not like a full like you're not doing a whole fucking school sim on top of playing the game.
I mean, there
Like,
still
I
is
don't
that
know.
aspect to it, obviously, but yeah,
Yeah, but there's less of it a little bit. There's no romance, which means I don't have that crippling high school anxiety of romance possibilities again.
I really hope I have time between now because that drops in November, pretty
Yeah.
sure. I do need to try to play Persona 5 beforehand because I don't want this to be my first
I mean, Sega's been cooking this year.
Persona-esque game. Yeah, they definitely have. We got a new trailer for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which looks kind of funny actually.
Which showcase are we talking about now?
Still talking about the Summer Game Fest, but like that's basically
Okay.
it. There's a couple other
The only
things.
thing that I saw on Xbox that I cared about was Doom.
Let's go to Xbox because
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
this was by far the best showcase. And I mean, actually, I guess until you get to Nintendo, and
Yeah,
then
Nintendo
in my
dropped the
opinion,
mic on everyone.
they were pretty much in parity with each other in terms of quality and number of games I was actually interested in. But like, yeah, Xbox cooked here with what they showed. There was still I still have some issues with it, and I'll have this with almost any showcase, but like still a little too much reliance on CG trailers and not showing actual gameplay. Like we still have seen maybe 2 total seconds of Fable gameplay. People will say that, oh yeah, there's gameplay in the Fable trailers. No, there
Yeah,
isn't.
cinematic gameplay.
No, there isn't. That's a lie. That's an absolute
Yeah.
lie. There's the one bit where she throws like a fireball, which is what they showed last time, and that's it.
It's a cutscene. It's in the game.
There's literally no gameplay being shown about that. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff here that was interested. Obviously, Doom and the Gears of War.
Gears of War just doesn't speak to me.
I'm interested in it. I've never played them.
This
I
one's
never played
definitely
them.
They were fun back in the day. I enjoyed playing them.
They seemed like the type of game I would have enjoyed at the time. I just didn't have an Xbox at the time. But yeah, there is actually a bunch of stuff here that was really good. I don't know that this page I'm looking at has things in order. But I'm just going to go down in the order that here. The one really bad thing that was shown that like got people really fucking worried was the Dragon Age trailer, the official reveal trailer.
Mhm.
No, dude, it's a new game. Dragon Age Dreadwolves is still coming out.
When they renamed it,
Dude, it's such a bad name. I mean, it would be okay if they just got rid of the there. If it was just
Dragon
Dragon
Age
Age
Veilguard.
Veilguard, it would be okay. But I mean, Dreadwolf is still a better title, and I think that their reasoning behind the change is stupid. But this trailer, dude, oh my god, it was dog shit. The super splash effects, the Marvel-esque just the introductions, the and people again were comparing it to Overwatch, like the hero trailers and all this shit. The art style was really jarring for a lot of people. That has those critiques have definitely mellowed once they showed the gameplay footage. I think it was like I don't think it was the next day. I think they had to wait 48 hours, and it was looking grim for BioWare and Dragon Age fans out there for that 48 hours. Like, dude, EA I think was in fucking full on panic mode.
It took them 48 hours because they had to physically put something together that wasn't ready.
yeah.
I think that's true. You may be joking, but I think that's true. What I've heard from listening to other podcasts of some journalists who got hands-on stuff, what they showed them behind closed doors was the exact same thing that they showed us, which which they put out to us, which I don't think would have been planned. I don't think it's basically like, oh no, we have to put something out here, and they did super. It was super underwhelming in terms of showing what the combat had to offer because it's the very beginning. So it's literally you can't do anything with your companions yet, and you only have one ability. Like your character only had one ability because they're level 1, and it was just like really even that was, in my opinion, underwhelming, and just in what they showed us, right? Like I want to see more of what it could be. I don't want spoilers, but I want
Yeah.
more
You
idea.
don't show off opening gameplay when your character is at your weakest. You show off some cool shit your character's going to be doing in the mid to late game
Yeah.
to make me want to get there.
Right. And I know there was always going to be plenty of people who were super concerned about the direction Dragon Age is going, and I make this joke all the time that Dragon Age is one of the most schizophrenic IPs out there. Literally has no idea what it is or what it wants to be. Going from like a more kind of crunchier CRPG in the beginning to toying with action-based combat and open worlds, non-open worlds, linear settings. It's just it doesn't know what it wants to be. And this basically they've changed it into its fantasy fantasy Mass Effect, in terms of like you now don't have direct control over your party. They've reduced the party composition from 4 to 3. You have an ability wheel where that's the most you can do with your party members is issue commands based off of their
Guardians of the
abilities.
Galaxy style.
You can only slot 3 abilities. This is even less than what you can do in Mass Effect. Is that each person can only slot 3 abilities. There's then that's core abilities. Then there's like a gear ability and a super ability or something. But like, so the combat seems less complex. Even though I personally am more in favor of, I like for RPGs, I like it to either go full turn based or at full action. I don't like real time with pause type gameplay. Like I don't like the gameplay in Origins.
Unless it's Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth.
But that's like that is it's such its own thing, and yeah, has, because I wouldn't even call it pause.
I was
but
just
like
thinking about like the
yeah.
technical. It's like real time with pause is definitely what I would call that.
Kind of, yeah, I guess, but like no, but it's like because you have full command over your action. Whereas
Yeah.
in classic real time with pause thing, it's all auto attacking. You're not
Yeah.
you're not actually doing inputs. You're not being reactive. You're just setting people up, watching as it unfolds, maybe pausing to readjust, issue commands, and
Me playing Xenoblade.
waiting on cooldown type things. So no, I don't like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested from seeing the gameplay. I'm interested enough to keep pursuing it. I'm not playing Dragon Age 2. I've already decided. I watched a lore video on it, and I'm gonna try playing Inquisition before this comes
Did you
out.
beat? Did you beat one?
Origins, yes. Much to my
I was gonna say you hated it at the
much
end.
to my rage. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I hated it at the end. But yeah, I'm interested enough to see how it goes. But that was a whirlwind, a roller coaster of emotion for Dragon Age fans out there. We saw a bunch of expansion stuff. Don't care about Starfield or Fallout 76.
No, dude,
Uh,
paying $7 for a new quest line is super cool.
I read somewhere also that it's terrible. That it's also very
Yeah.
bad. It's also a
My,
very
my
they're
boss
like,
played it and was real mad about it.
yeah, they're like this is the reason why this is like the perfect exemplar of why this game was bad. Just vapid and empty and just a waste of time
Nailed
and
it.
money. Uh, the actual I think highlight for me of the game that I really want to play, a wild name for sure. It's called Claire Obscure Expedition 33. This is a debut game from a newer studio called Sandfall Interactive. So it's like a role-playing game, turn-based RPG with some kind of real-time action input type things. Think kind of like your Mario and Luigi, your Mario RPGs,
Paper
that kind of stuff.
Mario.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. No,
Any of your Mario RPGs, essentially.
yeah, timing based things to like increase damage and defense and that kind of stuff. But like it looks like a cool premise. It looks gorgeous. For like a turn-based game, this looks beautiful. I mean, that sounded weird. Like I think a lot of turn-based games look really good, but like this just looks really good. I think the premise is interesting. I love turn-based games, so I will be paying attention to this one. This was like one of the surprises for me, is something new and something that really caught my interest. One of the more disappointing ones for me is the next one on this list is the South of Midnight game, which is like the kind of fantasy Louisiana Bayou type game where it's like this weird stop motion effect game that they showed a CG trailer for it last year, and people are like, okay, I'm intrigued. This looks like a cool art style and whatever, but we hadn't seen any gameplay. This showed gameplay, and one, I think that the stop motion effect is really poorly implemented. It just, rather than looking kind of cool and neat, it just looks like this like is a terrible frame rate, even though that's not what it is.
Yeah.
It's just what it looks like and how it feels to view it. And also the combat looks completely weightless and lacking impact. I was really let down by that. I thought that one was disappointing. No, when we were talking about, I think
Yeah,
Andrew, you were saying similar.
yeah, no, it's a game that like generally looks like it should appeal to me, but that the implementation of the stop motion for your movement, it like you said, it looks, at least in the preview, it looks
There is
like it's just a bad frame rate.
there was another game in the showcase, because was this the showcase that had the new Life is Strange game? I mean, because actually, no, I don't
I
even know.
believe
I
it
think
is.
no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking of the. I was confusing that one with another one. There's another game here, um, or somewhere else. I don't know if it was in the same if it was in this same thing or not, but there was another game somewhere else. I think yeah, no, it was here. It's called Mixtape, so it's not the Life is Strange. It kind of had a similar aesthetic to me, but no. So this one also seemed to implement a stop motion type effect to its characters, but was implemented so much smoother. And I think it was in the reality that it was the characters that looked stop motion, but not the background. Whereas the whole thing, everything moving in the South of Midnight one had the stop motion thing, so it just things looked out of sync and just really wacky, and it just seemed really off to me. Whereas the other one was more subtle, but still had a cool kind of effect. I don't have any interest in the
Yeah,
game, but
like,
like
and
it was done well.
I don't. The cutscenes, it looks fine for South of Midnight. Like it's not a really an issue in the cutscenes, but it's in the gameplay that I just don't think it would be a fun experience. It seems like it would be frustrating or annoying.
Yeah, so we got a release date for Flintlock Siege of Dawn. That's coming soon. So that's
It's like
kind of,
2
the
weeks
month.
or something like that.
it's like middle of July. Yeah. First footage of Perfect Dark remake that people think like, oh yeah, that's not real. Like that, they're like, oh, that's footage of a game that's like that's not gonna make it to the whatever the final product is. Looks like it's going more into an immersive sim direction. Yeah, Fable again continue to prove that it has the unique kind of British sense of humor, but like still is not showing anything that you can actually understand. Um, Avowed look has kind of piqued my interest again now that I've learned that, and they've confirmed that there's going to be a third person mode. I'll be paying more attention to that now because I was completely going to write it off as just not something I was willing to play in first person. It looked too janky. But if they've managed to implement a third person camera effectively, then I'm more willing to give Obsidian the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
What
I
did you
felt the same way.
what did you guys think of the Indiana Jones trailer?
Eh, the
Stop
first
reusing
person
IP.
stuff. I'm okay with it being a thing. I just don't like the idea of it being first person. That's not the game.
I mean, I
want
like that
for
the
Indiana
reasoning
Jones
for it
on.
being first person is pretty much just out in the open of like if we made it third person, people would just say we're aping Uncharted.
I think the reality is that Machine Games, the studio behind it, like they don't do third person. That's not that's not their gameplay. They don't that's not what they know how to do. So they just kind of went with what they know, which
Then
is
why make
first
that
person.
game then?
It's
You
a
know?
it's a good question.
Because Disney
Yeah,
was riding high at that point in time when they wrote that check. Like, yo, we got a new Indiana Jones movie in the works right now. We're gonna then capitalize the next year on a game release that's gonna, catapult the indie IP back into stardom. And then the movie came out, and like, oh shit, okay.
ooh, boy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you there. I don't think I don't think that it works as well in first person perspective. Like, I mean, people are like, oh, it's gonna ape Uncharted. It's like, yo, Uncharted was aping Indiana Jones. What the fuck are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, and like
I copied you
you
first.
have a whip. You have a whip. Nathan
Yep.
Drake doesn't carry a whip.
And that doesn't necessitate first person like having the whip as your weapon. Like a gun might in like fucking Call of Duty or something. Like,
But Nathan Drake uses guns.
Yeah,
He is third person.
shooting is a thing.
well, no, I know that, but I'm saying like if they were trying to make that argument, which I don't think that they are, but
No, they
you know,
make the bullshit that this improves your immersion argument, which I never buy.
That's
never. I my
First
immersion
person
is
pretty
in
much
third
never
person.
enhances my
Correct.
immersion.
No, because it always
Correct.
looks weird, so it always pulls me out. It's like, yeah, it's like I
Yep.
don't walk with my hands invisible in my eye line type of thing,
Yeah.
and just animations always look janky, and yeah, whereas like shooting, like competitive shooters, yeah, that's fine. Um, you don't have that. Uh, yeah, so we saw some stuff from Assassin's Creed, which got its own full thing in the Ubisoft showcase, which we're not going to talk about because why bother?
But dude, Ubisoft's making a whole bunch more like remakes and stuff of their older games. Like, remember when you liked our games, guys? Play those
Shut up,
games
Eve.
again.
Yeah, and then they ended on Gears of War, the Gears of War prequel game, which okay. I don't have any emotional attachment to it, but like maybe I'll play that. I
You
don't
there's one that we didn't discuss yet, and that's MGS,
no,
and I'm
I
very excited for
did
that.
scroll past that. Yeah, the Metal Gear
Snake Eater. I think that looks
Solid
awesome.
Delta.
Solid Delta. Yeah. It looks very cool, I think. I'm very excited to play this. I've always wanted to have played this series, never had a chance. I've played some of I think 5 is the one that
5
came
is the
out
one
on
that
the
came out last
PS4.
gen.
Yeah, so I've played some of that. But
On,
this just looks great. The graphics look great. It sounds
my
fun.
list
I'm
on my
pumped.
list of games to play though is the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I do have that one.
We love Rising Revengeance.
Yeah, I saw someone said something funny where it's like, oh, like I played the original Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater and it was like the coolest thing ever, and I'm worried about playing this remake because like what if it turns out it's like it
Not
is
the
the game
coolest
of
thing ever.
well, it's like that it's that it's only what, like a 12-year-old thinks is the coolest thing ever, you know.
Yeah.
So it's very that is very much of its time and then it doesn't necessarily translate. So we'll see. All right, so final major showcase to wrap everything up for the month of June was the Nintendo Direct, which really ended things on a high note here.
I
Lots
mean,
of things.
Nintendo isn't going to send the Switch out with a whimper. They're definitely pushing real hard to get the Switch up over the PS2's like lifetime sales. They want that top
Milk every
spot.
dollar.
I mean, you're going to get all the sicko collectors who are going to get the new special edition Switch Lite
Switch Lite,
for the
the
new
Zelda
Zelda
edition.
game. Which, dude, Zelda fans eating so fucking good. This
Zelda
game,
fans always eating good.
dude, this game looks really cool. So this is Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. We are getting back to our 2D style Zelda
Link's
game,
Awakening remake engine.
and we've got Zelda as a protagonist. Like that's something that fans have been clamoring for quite a while
There
now.
was a little bit of people out there who were like, should have been called The Legend of Link.
Yeah. I saw that too, and that's just funny. And you could see from the gameplay that, like, yes, we're going back to like more like kind of traditional kind of Zelda gameplay here, or like not gameplay, design.
Yeah, dude, the
And
Echoes stuff makes it a whole different.
but yeah, what's so clear is that with that mechanic is something that they've like clearly iterated on. It's proof of that they're taking interesting lessons they've learned from the recent 3D games so Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and adding it to this, the more traditional Zelda style. So yeah, you've got the whole ecosystem is very similar to the kind of Ultra Hand auto build, the building
It
function,
immediately reminded me of Auto Build.
because even the way like the way the menu works looks like how like the
Yeah,
fusing system works and stuff like that. So like even from like UI type things, they're taking those lessons learned. But it just looks like it's got some crazy possibilities for like emergent kind of game play and puzzle solving and just some real kind of creative opportunities here that I think could be really fun. Like what I think will be the biggest thing to see about it is like its dungeon design and how it may or may not utilize what was often the core systems for Zelda games. It was like unique dungeons with like bespoke items that create these new solutions.
I think the bespoke items are going to be bespoke echoes, like
Right.
unique echoes that are going to
that's going to be like you have to engage with a unique echo um in order to progress through a specific dungeon. And so like yeah, the echo is basically she uses her staff to like copy something, and it can range from everyday items to enemies. So you can copy an enemy and have an enemy fight for you, type of thing, and that's how combat works. um I think it's going to be really fun, and I think it's a unique approach to in melding of like kind of the popular aspects of these games, and it fucking drops in a couple months. It's crazy.
Nintendo's always cooking. I mean, we've known for a while that Nintendo's also the developer who is most likely holding on to and releasing games when the window is right and not just pumping them out the second they're done so that they can start, funding the next project.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I've seen that they had the prior Zelda done for a year and were just polishing it for 12 months essentially.
you're talking about Tears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
That's
Matt's
what-
always been saying that about Nintendo games. They shelve them until they decide they want to release them.
Yeah, the last
they,
Fire
they
Emblem
were
game
they
is like done
respect
for
their
like
launch
18 months.
windows more so than they just need to get a game out to make money.
Yeah, because they're always making money off Mario Kart.
I mean, the
Speak-
Mario Kart attach rate is fucking incredible.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's still
Whenever you
fucking
look at
60
like
bucks.
the top selling games on consoles, when you go to like exclusives and you like look at the ratio, it'll be like, oh, like it sold like 20 million, and the PS4 sold 114 million copies. That's crazy. And you've got the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe over here, who sold like 65 million copies to 140 million or 150 million uh Switches. It's just insane. They're going to sell another
speaking
bundle
of
this holiday with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundled with a Switch, and it's going to be selling for like 180 bucks, I bet. Hotcakes.
but speaking of Mario, we've got a new Mario and Luigi game, one of the series of RPG
Mario
games that
RPG fans are eating.
so, and I count myself one of them. I'm really
The only
excited for
Mario you
this.
like.
Well, no, we talked about this. It's that's not true. I actually like every Mario game that's not part of the main line. I don't like whether it's 2D or 3D. I don't like the Mario platformers. Um, anything else, I love the Mario sports games.
I
I love the
hope that
RPGs.
I hope
You
that when
know,
Astrobot comes out, you become a based Astrobot fan and become a like anti Mario platformer. Astrobot does better.
it's possible, but like, yeah, platforming is just not my jam. But
Except in Elden Ring.
this looks cool. This looks
Yeah,
really
Elden Ring
cool.
platforming.
I love it. I am excited for this. I still have some in my 3DS catalog here of the older games in this series, which like hasn't seen a new game in like, is it almost or over 10 years? Like, I don't know, a long time. So this was cool. Mario Luigi Brothership, which is just funny. It's like, it's
Great
it's
name.
it's naval based, it's ship based, so hence the brothership. So I'm excited for that.
Should have been Bruzza, and it should have been Toto and Yuji.
Yeah, dude, I'm still in that arc of
Yeah.
JJK, and it's I just got to the bit where they're fighting the
Hanami. The
the
plant.
special, yeah, is that his name? Yeah, the special grade guy with the lady with the tree eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just pop down, and dude, so good, so good. Best of friend. Yeah, so funny. On this list here, they have Metroid Prime 4 here, but that was at the end, and we'll save that towards for the end here. But Dragon Quest HD 2D remakes
Yeah.
3
The
and
Dragon Quest stuff we're eating.
yeah,
back.
basically it's the
It's no longer
trilogy.
Jover. We're Barack.
The one thing I've heard about it though that I'm hoping is
Matt,
a
do you play those?
What?
Do you play those? Have you played? Will you play?
No, I want to. They look
I like
incredible.
Okay.
yeah, I'm really I've been also on my list to play sometime soon is I really want to play Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah, because if you look at timeline shenanigans, 11 is technically a prequel to 3, which is technically a prequel to 1.
Right.
And like 1, 2, and 3 are a little like trilogy couplet.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6 are a little trilogy couplet, so they're a little different than how they treat Final Fantasy games.
One thing that's interesting about these that I've heard is that I hope it's a setting that you can turn on or off is the random encounters, because invisible random encounters are back, which is one thing I don't love
Yeah, I
about
mean, but that was because that was what was
JRPGs.
in the original Final Fantasy and Dragon Quests of the time, or Dragon Warriors, if you were a
Yeah, no,
US
I
fan.
know, I get it, but like I'm hoping that it's something that you can turn off.
Well, then you'll never level.
Well, that's the problem, right? Like I ran into that problem when I played Final Fantasy VII. Is I turned random encounters off, and I'm like, oh no, I'm underleveled. So I could probably get over it. But Matt and I are both, really big fans of the HD 2D style.
Glad to
This
see
is-
it still survived.
It's a series that we want to get into, so I'm
Yeah,
excited
the
for
problem
those.
with it, Andrew, is that the only way to play it currently is you either play the 1, 2, and 3 port to the Switch, which is just a straight port of the original NES games, or you can play 1 through 6 and 8, but not 7 or 9 on mobile. They're in mobile stores is the only place you can play them.
It's really weird.
Hilarious.
Any Donkey Kong Country heads here? Gonna play Donkey
That's
Kong
something I
Country
would
Returns
play.
HD?
Just
I mean,
because
I'm always looking to go back to the 90s platformers and make me feel like a kid again before the world became horrible.
Yeah, I
and
don't
like
know.
they've been throwing you know Donkey
Yo,
Kong by the wayside
catch
for
me
years.
drinking the Kool-Aid with the twist top snap cap thing.
Oh, oh, dude, those are
Kool-Aid Jammers
you
is
just
what those are called.
yep.
Yeah.
You just brought me back.
That was like 400% your daily value of sugar.
Yep. Give me those in the little barrel juices as well.
Those
Oh,
were
dude,
not Kool-Aid.
that
Those
was
were
They're not
like just
generic
Kool-Aid, but
brands.
straight up corn syrup. Ugh.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the
like-
barrels.
I never liked
Liked the
those.
Kool-Aid ones.
Well, I was poor, so we
I
had
bought the
barrels
Kool-Aid
sometimes.
Jammers
never
within the
liked
last
those.
12 months.
But you know what else is bringing
Jealous.
people? You know what else is bringing people back, except for Xbox fans, are the Marvel vs. Capcom fighting collections. That like again, everybody was
That's hilarious.
super pumped about that. Like, I'm not a fighting game fan, so it
That
doesn't mean
was
anything to
yeah.
me. But like people like were going crazy about these the fighting collection arcade classics, bringing those to modern hardware, and except for Xbox, and people were so fucking salty.
There was something there was like a lot of reasons that
Yeah,
people were like coping about for it. But there was one where it was like the last time that Capcom sold a legacy collection on Xbox, Xbox sales accounted for like 0.8% of their total sales or something like that. Some absurdly low percentage number. And it was like the Ace Attorney collection or something like that.
Speaking of which, yeah, there's a new Ace Attorney. It's like these were like spin-off games that were only available in
Yeah.
Japan that are coming out.
Japanese companies realizing they can resell old games that never came west.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the Romancing Saga 2. There's so much here.
That remake looked good.
Yeah, there's so much here. Like I'm scrolling through, and there's still so many things here, and we're not
Dude,
gonna
Nintendo is cooking.
we're not gonna cover them all.
Metroid Prime
There's
4.
Metroid Prime.
There's one I want to talk about that annoys me, and it's that they're making another Mario Party game.
Yeah, okay, yes,
that
I
game
wanted
should
to
be
talk
done
about
with
I wanted to
the
talk
way
about
they're
that.
doing Mario Kart.
Just add new tracks as or add new boards as DLC.
Yep, and
Yeah,
add old
add
old
new boards and
in.
games as DLC. Why do we need the fact that you want to grab a whole $60 out of me for what is the same game? Come on.
But it's not the same game. There are a bunch of different mini games now, and probably all the new mini games.
Why can't that be DLC?
There's probably like 15.
Well, you
Charge
see,
me
the engine
$30
wouldn't
once a year
support
and
it.
update it. I don't care.
Well, and that fucking Mario Party only had like 4 maps, the most recent one. So like
Superstars, that was the one
yeah.
that we have, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so they already got $60 out of us for barely a game anyways. You know, something that should have been a $30.
I mean,
You know.
Mario Party Superstars DLC fans are in the same category as Bloodborne 2 fans, are in the same category as Silksong fans, where they're constantly like, please. And it's like, no, you get nothing, go away, die. We don't want to see you.
And then
You're the worst.
and then pay me more money. Yeah, pay me more money. Pay me money to spit on you.
I just absolutely love going showcase after showcase of Silksong fans putting the clown makeup on and being like, no, it'll be here.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I had similar thoughts as I was seeing this. I was like, oh, I don't want, like, I kind of want to play this, but like, I don't want to spend more money on that. Like, because we play them, semi, maybe a couple times a year as a group, but like, they're fun to have. They're good games to have. But like, I don't want to pay full price for another one this
At this
close
point, we
to.
have the Switch Online Mario parties that we can play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I was disappointed in this. I was like, yeah, it's just, yeah, this is the one where it's like, this seems like a cash grab. I'm not gonna,
Mhm.
I don't think I'm gonna engage with it. Okay, so there's still a whole bunch of other things here, a lot of JRPGs, a lot of cool stuff. But Matt, Metroid Prime 4, thoughts?
It's here. It's finally been shown. It's not just a number on a screen with a word after it. We have actual what looked like opening level gameplay. What will probably be the tutorial opening before she loses all her
Where you have
powers.
all your abilities,
Yep.
like you taken away.
And it's kind of fitting that what I believe will be the last truly dedicated Switch Direct finally gets gameplay footage for something that was teased at the very first dedicated Switch Direct.
Yeah, people since Metroid Prime 4 didn't
Hmm.
have an actual release date, people are like, they're still, it's pretty clear that this is going to be like a launch title, and
Yeah, it's gonna be a crossover like
yeah, it'd
Breath
be
of
a
the Wild, where it's gonna be
cross
Switch and
platform.
Switch 2.
Yeah.
Be their
Um,
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's absolutely what it's going to be. That they didn't put a date on it because they didn't want to lock themselves down to Switch 2 release date yet. They want to wait until the Switch 2 gets its debut, and then they'll be like, "We'll debut alongside Metroid Prime 4. Here's the fucking bundle. Buy it right now, pre-order."
Yeah.
There were so many
Our
funny people
sales.
on the internet who were like, "I pre-ordered this game when it originally was showed off in 2017 at that first direct. Let's see if Amazon still like honors the."
How far back do you have to go in your order history to find that? Yeah, dude, that's incredible. All right, yeah. So final opinions, thoughts on the showcases, on things, particularly here at Nintendo. Anything else that
Nintendo loves me. They're my friend. Everyone else sucks, and they can go
I don't
away.
know? It's kind of true. Like they definitely cleared here. And Xbox really surprised me with.
Xbox is trying to be your cool uncle right now. They're
I will
like they're
maintain
showing up. They're giving you a sip of their beer at family holiday.
there's still enough to keep me skeptical, right? Like not enough release dates, not enough.
Yeah, you're looking at the car he pulled up in. And you're like, wow, that looks really cool. And then you start looking a little closer. You're like, wow, that spoiler's held on with tape.
So it's I don't know. Like I've seen some people were like getting like it was after the Xbox thing. Some creators are coming back like, oh, it's stupid to demand more release dates and that type of shit. And I'm like, there's part of their argument that I would buy. Like they were like, oh, like there's no like you by asking for a release date, you're going to either set unrealistic expectations, and if there's a delay, you're going to get pissed off and all that, or you're going to force out games before they're ready. And I'm like, well, there's another side of it of this, like, don't announce games until you're closer to being ready. I'm totally fine with that. It's the Nintendo way, right? These games are announced when they're ready and they're going to come out like, releasing today, type of shit, or, in a couple months. I'm totally fine
That
with
was me
that.
putting my clown makeup on, hoping for a Metroid Prime 2 shadow drop, like they did earlier with
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 1.
Yeah, so like I buy that, but it's like there's also there is some level of privilege I think that goes into the people who are saying those type of things because they're like, oh, like I've got plenty of games to play, I've got all these things, like I don't need to know when it is. Whereas like some people, it's like they can only afford, one, two games a year. So they're trying to plan their purchases. They need to, they need to know what, or, money and time, right? They're like, these are the games that I'm like so focused on that like the ones that mean the most to me, I can only afford, yeah, whether from time or money. And people deserve to know and to be able to plan those things out. I think it's consumer friendly to have it's obviously setting realistic dates. We don't want companies and publishers setting unrealistic
Yeah,
expectations.
I
We
like
want
release dates so that I can put PTO on those days.
yeah, yeah. So I don't fully
Yeah,
buy there's a bunch of people saying like, oh no, I don't need a release date ever. I'm like, fuck you, of course I want a release date.
Yeah, I think I
no,
would hate if the world went back to like never knowing and all of a sudden it's just like, yo, it's out now. It's like, what? I just bought new thing now. Now I need to
I
play other new thing now?
I just wholly disagree with that entire argument. Don't don't market a game until you know that you can release it in the final state in the next 6 to 12 months. Just don't.
I
Just
would.
don't. Like
12 is too
it's
much. I would
that
say
simple.
6 to 8.
Yeah, I mean
You
the
can put
I
biggest
think
12
the
I
into
think
it,
we
12 is okay if you
depending
have
on the
other things
title.
in your release
but
schedule. If you
but
have
we
other
know
things
the
releasing
major
between
reasons
them.
why they do so early is for staffing, right? It's like those are advertisements not for the consumer, but for like, here, come work for us and help us finish this
Yeah, that
game.
was what they did with the
Like The
Witcher.
Witcher, yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
There's like, yeah, please, we're switching to Unreal Engine. If you have experience, come work with us, please. All right. So we've gone, I think, longer than I intended on the showcase stuff, but there was a lot of stuff to cover. But some neat kind of transitions, and we can kind of condense these stories a little bit as our wrap up for the month of June. Um, a bunch of our stories revolve at the least tangentially, if not directly, to the Nintendo Direct. We saw the implosion of gaming leaks and rumor kind of subculture just implode, around this
But
Nintendo Direct.
I felt like George Bush hearing about the second plane when they
Yeah,
took down PRO.
yeah. A second leaker has just been unveiled to be, is not actually an uwu kawaii Japanese girl, but is actually a
Google
middle-aged white
employee.
white guy in in the U.S. Uh, yeah, there's some wild stories here, but they revolve around the Nintendo stuff. That's like where most of these stories had focused because
It had been coming to a head because there'd been discussion around like YouTube leak culture that had resurfaced. Where
Well,
some
and this is not the first time this has happened with Nintendo. A bunch of their Pokemon releases, I forget what it was for. I think it was the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. They had put a lot of private videos up, and leakers, I don't know the sources of them. It's
it
been a
was
while
YouTube
now.
employees.
It
YouTube
was
employees
again.
were leaking
Yeah.
yeah, it's
private
because they
YouTube
could
video.
see, yeah, they
See
could
'em.
see the
Yeah.
videos before they were published.
Yeah, and
Um,
like, well, and even non-leakers, like people were figuring out that there was going to be a video released because you could, like, I guess, see the number of video, like as just a user, you could see the number of videos that Nintendo had like posted, and it wasn't equal to the number showing because it like showed the private videos they had uploaded.
Real sickos are fucking counting the fucking Pokemon video
Yeah,
uploads
no,
to
there's
count.
fucking sickos out there, man.
so the two
It's
main
fucking
accounts that
wild.
were focused in these articles were the one that Matt mentioned, and was it Pyro?
Yeah,
Pyro? So that was one who's like gone like kind of weirdly silent. They're one who would basically
Well, then Nintendo black bagged them.
yes, because yeah, 'cause they
They're
They
with
literally
the
posted a like scared like, oh shit, I'm not doing this anymore, and then
they're
their
with the
account just
Boeing
went quiet.
whistleblowers.
it's like they're setting the Boeing hit team after them.
Yeah.
They're on the Boeing Starliner,
Yeah.
So this account like was like highly accurate, had a really highly accurate track record, and this
especially
is
for
what
Nintendo.
yeah, it's for Nintendo because basically didn't they determine that this person had access to like the back end of Nintendo
Yeah,
like the Nintendo websites and stuff like that that they could I don't remember
they
the
could see
technical
what
bits.
Nintendo was hiding on their domains.
And the back end of the domain. So like that they would basically announce with almost perfect accuracy every
Yeah,
direct lineup.
they tweeted out that like super cryptic like if you read the capital letter of every word in the tweet, it spelled out like Zelda is the next character or something like that,
Dude,
or
these
Zelda
people
is playable.
dude, these people like need to go to jail. Like they think there's
Mhm.
not for the reason, not for like,
Not for Doctor Disrespect reasons.
well, yeah, not for that, or for for hacking or infiltrating those type of things, but just for being super fucking
Sickos.
cringe. Just,
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
straight sickos.
like it's just like, dude, like again, thinking that they're so cool that they're like secret agents for
Mhm.
yeah, gotta do a dead drop with coded messages and shit. It's like, oh fuck you. Um, and then let's get to we got to talk about Midori.
Midori.
We got to talk about Midori, and I know Matt was like to say took a lance to the chest, just like when we
That
learned
was my Sega leaker. They had everything. They had so much shit right,
and then yeah, we
and then they
realized
didn't.
and then they didn't. They kept getting shit wrong, and then basically revealed that yeah, I'm not actually a Japanese woman. I'm actually an American man who had some other past history
Classic.
as a
Being a
Classic.
fake leaker.
as a being a fake leaker, and it was funny like when that broke, people were like, and I don't remember the name, and I don't even know that it's in this article that I have here. We're like, Midori is really this person, and they were like making it sound like it was somebody I should know, and I was like, I don't know who this person is. Like, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of internet subculture where they're like, "You don't know who Slip Slap Bob is?"
Yeah,
And
and
it's
I was
like,
like Googling who is Slip Slap Bob and like, trying to find their Twitter account and nothing. There's like it was like a defunct account or something,
Bring you to like the FBI watch list,
yeah,
putting
no,
you on
I
the
I don't
FGOS.
know what was going on here, but like just because there was like this weird cycle of things like people being like, oh, Midori is like quitting for her mental health and all these
Midori
things,
quit
and
and came back like
it's like
3 times this
yeah,
year.
yeah, it's like we support you, Midori, and all these things, and then people immediately having to walk that back like within 48 hours, just like, oh no, what have I done? And it's just finding out it was this guy who's like again really kind of toxic and
Just drinking
like
Midori sours
yeah,
all day
like
long.
this really weird figure, like
I mean,
like
I
one
knew
of
I should have never trusted it because they named themselves after My Hero Academia's main character, Deku
oof,
Midori.
oof. Okay, that's a big red flag there. I don't
Uh-oh.
even watch that show, and I
Yeah,
just know
yeah.
that My Hero
Never
fans
trust a
are
My Hero Academia fan.
yeah.
Never ask them what's on their hard drive. Never ask about the folders.
Never ask
I don't
about
know
the
what you're
loose floorboard.
talking about, but I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, no, that's an immediate red flag. Um, but that one was
Just
just wild.
immediately don't pass go to jail.
Yeah, so who knows if like so this is like their second or third time like having another account being found out being
Yeah.
full of shit and then rebranding.
They do the
So
smart thing of
they'll probably
they
do it
put
again.
real leaks in so they have someone who can get them real info because they'll get stuff right, which will make you trust them, and then they'll just start
But dude,
saying
with
shit.
just doing shit like speaking in broken English and
Yeah.
stuff to sell the truth that they were Japanese. It's just like
Oh, I wonder if he's the same leaker that in the Pokemon leaks there's a guy on like 4chan that was doing the same thing where it was like it looked like it was translated from shitty
Dude,
Japanese.
everyone on 4chan is actually 3 people.
Yeah,
It's just
so
3 people having schizophrenic conversations via alt accounts.
it's fair.
And so, what is it?
Typing R's instead of L's in his.
Yeah, and Mike, did you see something though about like what Nintendo is doing about these leakers
Uh,
beyond sending the Boeing hit squad?
no, it was just like that they're taking action. I don't think they've, said exactly what they were doing yet. From what I
They
saw.
got the guy. They got the guy who got Shinzo out of jail, and he's on the case.
I mean, if they're US based, there's an argument to for fuck, what is it called? It's like there's like a criminal hacking statute that isn't just for like hacking like 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 fucking anonymous type
Like
hacking.
the movie Hackers.
Yeah, it's like anytime someone accesses like protected data of a company for like unauthorized uses or something, something to that effect, that it constitutes like hacking. And there's a criminal statute that you could like there's like a private attorney general like civil action for it. So Nintendo could essentially bring a case for um criminal punishment against this hacker for
Do you remember the
accessing
old
their
memes where it was like Goku's knocking at your door because he hears your mental health problems are strong enough to fight and he wants to fight them
What?
or something like that? Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Goku. What's really happening is Mario is knocking on your door and all you hear is wahoo, yaha,
and then
it's
fireballs
me.
getting thrown at you. Your house just gets lit on fucking
he
fire.
firebombs your house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
turns it into Vesuvio in fucking
You wake up and you're
Sopranos.
like, why does it smell like gasoline? And Mario just shushes you and then throws the fire on you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a spicy meatball. And
He's on top of you in bed, just fucking tosses it and bounces out.
all right, Andrew, you were like, this is again related to Switch and or Nintendo and
Nintendo cooking.
in the direction that they're the Switch still
Yeah,
cooking,
so
still going strong.
I just think, the Switch cooks, Nintendo cooks, and I think there's like their business model is just so much better. And they have their faults, don't get me wrong, but
I mean,
how they
their faults are
operate, I think,
directly
allows
related
them
to
to
their
do
business model,
things.
though. Like the reason that they go so hard after people with IP stuff is because they protect their IP to the point that people buy it so ravenously.
True, that's totally
'Cause
fair.
there were some fun arguments where
But
there were people.
Go ahead.
All I was gonna say is there were people talking about how imagine how much more Breath of the Wild would have sold if it was on PC. It's like Breath of the Wild sold 35 million copies just on Switch. It's like some of the best selling multi-platform games barely break 20 million.
Right.
It's like I don't think they need the
thing-
multi-platform kick to sell their games.
No, and I think the thing that they commit to is like they commit to seeing out their ideas and promoting and like keeping their talent in a way that Xbox definitely doesn't. They're constantly shifting what they're trying to do. Like, who even knows what they want to do at this point? They don't even
I mean, I
want to
don't
sell
think
consoles now.
I don't
Sony,
know.
we talked about it earlier. They have the live service model that they're going to invest in, and now because that's fallen out, you see they've hit a wall and they're struggling. They spent a shit ton of money on Bungie. That's not gone well financially, at least for them. So I just think it's
Dude, the new
interesting
Bungie
how
DLC is great. Everyone
Nintendo.
loves it. Everything's good.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see
No, and
what the final shape sales numbers look like.
right, it'll be interesting to see financially. Absolutely, that critically has done well now, but I just think it's interesting to see Nintendo just not fall to the same traps that Sony and Microsoft continually step on the rake of.
Well, I mean, Nintendo absolutely had
and
an
it's
opportunity
awesome.
to. The Wii U was a step on the rake moment for them. That was,
But they
a wake
learned
up
from their mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the
Right.
funny part is
They
some of the
learned.
best selling Switch games are Wii U games.
Breath of the Wild.
Mario Kart.
Yes.
Mario Kart was a Wii U game. I didn't know.
Mario Kart 8 was a Wii U game.
Yeah, we're never getting another Mario Kart game. Never.
Yeah, never.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Ultra.
For some reason, I thought it was even a 3DS game, Mario Kart 8.
That was
We-
Mario
we're-
Kart 7.
Well, we've
7,
got
yeah.
tracks. We've got tracks from all those now.
Yeah.
All right, so we've definitely gone long here. Let's just end quickly on let Matt was telling me before we started recording that he formulated the perfect shower argument for against all the people that are saying that Elden Ring DLC is too hard.
It's simple. It's very simple. All it comes down to is they put wind blades in the opening area. And when I say wind blades, I mean the backhand blades. Because when you two hand those, you get two of them. And it is literally the exact same, almost identical move set to the Sellsword Twin Blades of Dark Souls 3 that were a starting weapon that you could just take from a starting class and run to end game and win the game. You spin and win. It's over. It's Jover, folks. You can buff them. They're straight smithing stone. You can infuse them. Like if you're having trouble, go pick up this base game drop that is literally just out in the open world. You don't even need to kill an enemy.
Yeah, it's easily accessible in the opening. I have not seen a lot of builds utilizing them though. The current like OP weapons that I've seen are the ones that I told you guys about at the before we started recording, the Blood Fiend's arm, and then apparently perfume bottles are fucking crazy.
Yeah, perfume
broken.
bottles are pretty sick.
I did not
all I'm saying is
experiment
that
with those.
this weapon is easily obtainable, can fit onto almost any build because its requirements are minimal, and the move set is super easy to win with and very cheesy.
And
Just like the Sellsword Twin Blades of Dark Souls 3.
And just run around and get the upgrade materials. It's pretty easy to get upgraded pretty quickly, and the ashes fuck as they get upgraded. Mimi is tearing things apart at
I made sure that I wasn't missing the Shadow Tree fragments. Like if I hadn't like pulled up a list, I may have like missed one. There's like one at the end that like is definitely highly missable, I think. But then pretty much every other one
by
is
Euphoria
is like really and there are a couple that are in pot shadows, the shadow guys that have pots on their heads.
Yeah,
those ones will be easily missable.
I think I need to go refine one because I think he got away before I killed him from a grouping.
Yeah, that happens.
I'm one short.
Yeah, that'll happen. And but then like I wasn't looking at all to like purposely try to find the Spirit Ash ones because I was not using summons, and I think just naturally exploring, I think I've missed 2 because the full Shadow Tree Blessing gets you up to 20, the Revered Spirit Ashes get you up to 10, and I got to 9 and had because like the last 2 Spirit Ash ones you need 4 for each blessing level, and I have like 2 remaining, so I think I missed 2 somewhere.
The real trick for Shadows of the Erd Tree is use everything at your disposal, find everything that's there because the DLC gives you everything you need.
Yeah.
Don't pay people to play the game. You
that's stupid.
That shit's fucking wild to me.
Well, so what I'd seen, basically what people are doing is they're not having it play the game for, play the DLC for them. It's playing the stuff to get to the DLC.
Yeah, but if you can't play the game to get to the DLC, you ain't gonna do shit in the DLC.
I would say like maybe like again, I would never do this, but like you'd be like the stupid people like me who started New Game Plus stupidly and are like, I don't want to play it on New Game Plus, but I also don't want to do a full playthrough again to get me there. I'd be like, yeah, okay, I've played the game already. I've beaten all the bosses. I've done all this. So just get me to the point where I can go. I could like maybe
hired
understand.
out on Fiverr.
I could maybe understand that, but no, still that's stupid. Yeah, so I'm the only one who's now finished the DLC. I think it was really fun. I think there are only a couple bosses that move into the point of not fun and you know that are, I wouldn't say that it's like that they're too hard. It's that they are just tuned weird.
You're clearly just missing out. Clearly, there's a dude who's already done it. Rune level 1, 0 hits.
Oh, absolutely. Matt sent me a video yesterday of somebody beating the final boss. Rune level 1, no shadow tree
No
blessings,
upgrades.
and I was just like, okay, fine. I guess I'll go kill
Oh,
myself.
God.
Because I
Jesus Christ.
when I did this New Game Plus playthrough to get to the DLC, so I only used summons twice. I I did it to beat Moog because I was just dying so much and I was just like done at that point and needed to get ready for the DLC. And I ended up feeling bad because we just bullied the shit out of Moog. Like he didn't even get to his second phase. We just stun locked him.
Dude, I love killing Moog before he can heal.
It was
It's
so
one of my
funny.
favorites.
It was so he tried to knee heal me, but it didn't work. And it just
Especially
literally
if you're strength building at the time. If you mimicked, that's just so much
no,
stagger on
no, that's what
him.
we did. That's what I did, and it just we bullied him. It made me feel bad.
Yeah, do you
Particularly,
feel bad after
yeah,
playing
so,
the
yes,
DLC and knowing the truth about
particularly
him?
after learning the lore, I feel very bad. I feel very bad about that. And then I
Someone replaced a great enemy defeated on it with allegations defeated.
yeah, I do still kind of feel bad about Final Boss because seeing a lot more and doing stuff, it's like maybe I probably could have gotten there eventually with no summon, but I had spent a lot of time. I like was ready to go, like I was ready to move on. I'd spent 3+ hours probably at that point on the final boss, and I was just like wasn't making any progress in the second phase. Just like I could see the pattern, I knew the patterns, but I just couldn't execute it. And it's just like with some of these added attacks and area effects, like it was just visually too hard for me to just track things. And so it's like I had like done the summon like twice at that point in this fight. Like I did it once to see what would happen. Didn't make much progress with that either. So I went back and just kept going normal. And then I did the summon again one more time and we cleared. And it was me and Mimi just using the Blood Fiend's arm and just absolutely demolishing him. I mean, it was still it wasn't necessarily it's like a cakewalk by any means. There's still a lot of input involved. But like, yeah, maybe I could have gotten there, but it's okay. Best boss in the game though, definitely is Bale the Dread. Without a
Love
doubt.
Durgans.
Coolest fight, tough but challenging.
Lost in a fight to Placidus Axe in his
yeah,
prime.
rewarding. But like tough, definitely a definition of tough but fair. Whereas like Mesmer is the other hardest boss, and there are like parts of the second phase that like move into the realm of like kind of janky in their frustration, but it's doable. I did it with no summons, just Starfists and bonk, 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 and did it. It took a while, but it's definitely doable. But Bale the Dread was probably the coolest and the most fun. But yeah, it's the Yu-Gi-Oh meme. You're a disgrace to the game, Yugi. I don't want to hear another word. If you're review bombing this for being too hard, like get the fuck out of here.
Not fair that I have to beat Moog.
He'll always be the Moog Lester to me. I don't care what you say.
Allegations defeated.
Yeah. All right, folks. We went long today, but thank you for sticking with us. It's been an interesting month. We will see what July has to offer. July is
Lots of
going to be
Final Fantasy 16
yeah,
discussion.
it's going to be kind of quiet in terms of news. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a whole lot of things releasing. There's a few things here and there, but yeah, stay tuned. We will be bringing you our discussion of Final Fantasy 16 next week. We're going to be trying to record in person for like the first time since like the long lost episodes from before
Yeah.
releasing. We've got the new mixer is here. I gotta try to
Join
run
our
some
Patreon
tests.
and you can listen to the lost episodes.
Yeah, if we can still find them. But
I
that
think I still have them.
yeah, they're probably, I think they're in the drive somewhere. All right,
They're on my
folks.
hard drive.
That'll do it for today. We will see you next time. For all of you that are struggling through the Lands of Shadow, we believe in you. We know you can do it. Don't feel bad about using whatever you have at your disposal. You know, our Lord and Savior Miyazaki himself has said that he sucks at video games. He uses all the things that
He's
are
just like me.
available. Yeah, just like me, for real, for real. But no,
I can't wait for us to find out the reality that Miyazaki has been lying to us. He's let me solo her.
Just play the game how it's fun for you guys. You know, just do it. All right, we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.